Controlled Chaos here, bringing you a much overdue deck profile. My camera's actually been at an old friend's house, I suppose, and I just got it back, so I figured I'd make a video. And I read Fraser Smith's ARG article about Mythic Dragons and how he was attempting to combo them with Blue Eyes Ruler, and I was like, holy shit, my two favorite decks put together, what a genius. So I took my old Blue Eyes Ruler deck and got a hold of the Mythics and Felgrand, and really made his idea into a reality here. There's some definitely interesting card choices in here. For example, spoiler alert, I only run two Sacred Swords. A Dragon Ruler player only playing two Sacred Swords. What is this madness? Well, I explain it in the video, but a lot of stuff like that. If you have any thoughts on the deck, definitely let me know. I'm really considering playing this at the Philadelphia Regional. Hopefully I do well with it, and that kind of, gives merit to my deck profile here. It really proves that the deck is good and can compete at the highest level. So, yeah, enough of me babbling, guys. You're here to watch the deck profile, so without further ado, we're going to get into it. But, quickly though, a sincere thank you for watching. Sincere thank you for not unsubbing me, for not posting for a month, and a sincere hope that you're going to share this shit. So, yeah, enjoy the video. Alright guys, we'll start with the monsters. Triple Blaster. Triple Title. Triple Redux. And that's it for the Dragon Rulers. I don't run Tempest. I feel like it's not necessary for this build and actually gets rather cloggy. It's 2400 attack and 2000 defense are kind of mediocre in comparison to the other three dragons. And, you don't really have any power cards to search with it because I don't run Debris Dragon. For the generic Dragon level 1 tuners, I have Flamvell Guard and Corseska. For the Mythic engine, I have 2 Mythic Tree and 2 Mythic Water. I feel 2 is sufficient. They're both, incredibly searchable. I do run the Gold Sarcophagus, so I can add these to hand just about any time, and they combo so well with each other. This also combos with Title, and these also combo with Scrap Dragon. For the second kind of, gimmicky engine for this deck, I run 2 White Stone and 2 Blue Eyes. With the introduction of Stardust Spark Dragon to the TCG, I feel like it's imperative to be able to get into that as fast as possible and as often as possible, especially when it's in tandem with something like Felgrand or a Vanity's Emptiness even. It just can really shut down your opponent's plays. And the 2 extra level 1 tuners are just so helpful. Plus, the Blue Eyes helps feed one of my win conditions, which I will show you in a second. That win condition is Montage Dragon. You run 4 level 8s other than itself. You run 9 level 7s. It's so easy to get this thing out with 6,000 plus attack. And, everybody knows the Dragon Rulers are just as good as Grave as they are in hand. So you just do that, and then you make a follow-up play. If they have no board, you can make a Felgrand, so you can avoid Scarecrow. You could always just bring out like a Blaster and attempt to swing for a game. But it creates so much of a problem, and it's an inherent summon, so you can't chain Emptiness to it, and you can't chain Maxi to it. You have to do it before it's summoned, which is really hard to do, because then, I could just wait a turn on it, and you just neg one yourself. For the hand traps, 2 Maxi, and 1 Scarecrow. I feel like with all the Dragon players out there, that Maxi is imperative in the main deck, because you need to be able to draw into an answer to their play. Because if they play into the Maxi challenge and you draw into your Scarecrow, then you basically win the game the next turn. I believe it's 23 monsters, if I remember correctly. Then for the spells, Triple Ravine, Standard. Only 2 Sacred Swords. Since I cut the Tempest, I cut the 3rd Sacred Sword. It seems to be working out just fine. I have plenty of draw power in this deck. and you're only allowed to use one per turn anyway. And I always find myself drawing into Sacred Sword with Sacred Sword, so cutting it to do is really it's helped a lot in avoiding that. 2 traded, you run 5 targets, so it's never dead. And 2 cards of Consonance, you run 4 targets, but they're all very, very searchable, specifically Corseska, because you can just add it with the Ravine. Then 2 Space Typhoon to answer Vanity's Emptiness, to answer Safe Zone, things like that. And then 1 Book of Moon, and 1 Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is not good in most Dragon Ruler decks, but in this and anything really playing Mythics or even Montage, I feel it's incredibly good because it's instant access into any of your combo pieces that you're missing, and you get to plus again with the Dragon Ruler in 2 turns, which is always a nice little bonus. Because if you use up all your resources, then you get 1 back. And then I play 4 traps, all 1/0s, 1 Emptiness, 1 Compulse, 1 Wing Blast, and 1 Return. I play Emptiness over Solemn, Bottomless, or Torrential because of the Spark Dragon lock. I had this at 2 for a while, but I decided to cut it to put Book of Moon in. I feel it's just another main deck answer to Ophion, so. Whereas Vanity is not necessarily one, because they can just Space Typhoon it and then make Ophion anyway. But yeah, but the Stardust, Spark Dragon, Vanity's Emptiness lock is it's too good. Too good not to play Vanities. We'll go to the extra deck next. Let's get my tokens out of the way. For the Synchros, I have 2 level 7s, 1 Black Rose and 1 Ancient Fairy. These are difficult to make in this deck, but they are possible. You can either use, and usually this is from a return play, a Maxi, a Mythic Tree Dragon, and any level 1 tuner. Or the more practical way is 2 Draco tokens and, a level 1 tuner. Big Eye also allows you to go into things like that if you're playing against something like Heradic. That anything really that leaves any level 6s on board. Then for the level 8s, 1 Stardust, 1 Colossal Fighter, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Spark, 1 Crimson Blader, 1 Azure Eyes. And then for the Xyz monsters, only 1 Draco Sec. I feel in this deck I'm very synchrocentric. I don't really focus on Xyz summoning too much, and I've really never found myself needing more than 1 Draco. 1 Big Eye, 1 Gaia Charger, 1 Master of Blades, and then for the rank 8s, 1 Felgrand, MVP of the deck. It's so broken, it's so good, it's so tough to get around. Your opponents have to waste essentially all their resources just to even attempt to deal with it. 1 number 46 and 1 Heliopolis. This card also puts in a shit ton of work, especially against things like Prophecy, because battle phase you swing over their, you force their fate on something, and then you swing over their spellcaster, and then main phase 2, you just make this and you blow up all their bluff sets, like their Eternities and Secrets and Masters that they set to try to make you think that they had more back row than they did, and they just lose. Lastly, to the side deck. This is a bit techy. Not too much, though. For the monsters, 1 Vanity's Fiend, 2 Drolocks, because Prophecy is still a thing, dragons are a thing, obviously. And with all the mythics, people are going to be playing Gold Sark more and more, so, Drolock just really helps with that. And 1 DD Crow, for mirror matches and Prophecy, mostly. 2 Xyz Encore, for Evil Swarms. It's the only spell I play in my side deck. 2 Wabako for mirror matches. 2 Safe Zone for everything except for mirror matches. 2 DNA Surgery for Bougia and Noble Knights and Prophecy. 2 Divine Wrath for just about everything. And lastly, 1 EEV for anything that relies heavily on either spells or traps. This is a huge answer to Evil Swarm, believe it or not. If you're going first and you side this in, and then if you sit on a Colossal Fighter, and they set 5, summon a Thunderbird, say go. You flip this on face, call traps, then you can just derp on them and win. Alright guys, well that's it for the deck profile. You know, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was something you haven't really seen before, and hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Yeah, like that shit. Peace!